I get it, girls. We are all getting a little bit confused out here in these streets. Like, geez, whiz. This is masculine, that's masculine. Oh my goodness, somebody's saying that's not masculine. Okay, so my job is to simplify absolutely everything for you. And today we'll be breaking masculine stereotypes and really defining the difference between masculine energy and a masculine presentation. Okay, so I want to do this video so we are very clear about, is this man presenting masculine or is he actually masculine? And it's sometimes very hard for us to pick out until usually it's too late. So I will see you on the other side. Hello, my name is Chengi. I am your dating and relationship expert here at the Black Swan Relationship Academy, where we teach you ladies how to present as a high value, high status, and high worth woman that high quality men find completely irresistible. Can I get every man? Oh, always good to see you. Okay, let's get on with it. This man is broody, yes. But is he broody or moody? You see, sometimes we see a man who seems to be broody. He seems silent, mysterious type, but really he's moody. Some men are moody all the time. They live in their feelings. They live in their emotions. They're always feeling something. They're always acting out of their feelings. I know there's nothing wrong with men feeling. I'm all about that good life, all about it. But we're not to live in our feelings, whether we're men or women. We're to acknowledge and process and not stuff them down. We're supposed to have emotional mastery. But when we don't have emotional mastery, we give rise to whatever we're feeling, and that we give it rise for expression. Not everything we feel must have an outward expression that creates devastation for other people or discomfort for other people. We can feel it, we can articulate it, we can move past it. Okay, so some of us, I love a broody man. I love a man that is silent and a man that thinks, and then when he opens his mouth, something incredible comes out, and I'm like, yes, but daddy. But often I have been deceived, and it is easy to do. What is the difference? It's really about energy. A moody man brings the energy of the room down. A moody man makes you feel like you've done something wrong, like you must apologize. The energy around a moody man is different from a broody man. A broody man is a man that is in his head and who thinks a lot. Usually they're overthinkers, philosophers, people that are always examining the world around them, taking in information and processing it in their head, always tend to be a little bit broody. They're not upset, but you can tell that they're a little bit away. And even though you're having a conversation with them, you're having this conversation on two planes. They're really thinking, going into their head and listening at the same time. This is a wonderful combination that often comes with men who are thinkers, who have a propensity to being philosophers, men who tend to spend a lot of time in their heads. They don't all have to be broody to be masculine at all. You can get masculine men who are just fun-loving go-getters, but they're masculine in the way that they operate. But sometimes you can meet a moody man and think that he's being broody. Number two, he may be tall, he may be strong looking, but he is not brave. Okay, sometimes we look at a guy's height and we're like, okay, he's tall and he can protect me. But trust me, girls, there are men out here who will hide behind your 5'2" behind when trouble comes. They're not your protectors. They're men who look like giants but fear everything, 100%. I used to talk to a guy friend of mine, and I was like, if I was a man, I'd want to be like really tall, really big. And he said to me, well, you would still have feelings within that body, and it's your feelings that can sabotage you. And I was talking to other guy friend, he's really tall as well, really big. And he says, Chengi, sometimes I've backed away from a fight from a much smaller guy because something told me that he wanted it more than I did. The truth of the matter is, when we look at a man's size, we assume he's gonna be, a great protector. He is presenting that way because why? Because his genetics, he was born that way. But some like to project that outer strength, but internally they don't have the strength. I have known many men who are, we would probably think are tiny, but they're brave and they're fierce, and it's not the size of the dog, girls. It's not the size of the dog in the fight. It's the size of the fight in the dog. Do you know what I mean? Do you get me? Do you know what I mean? Yes. So let's not get carried away by, oh, he's got to be tall. Sometimes a shorter guy can be tougher, more skilled, a better person in combat than somebody who is tall. And sometimes we can think, oh, that's a masculine guy. It could be a very feminine man in a very big body. This happens a lot. Next is, he's got a big beard now. Guilty. I'm guilty. Mama Swan loves a beard, okay? Now, he might have a beard, but it doesn't make him a mature man. Beards represent maturity, growth, because we know that boys only start to grow beards when they're becoming men, right? And so the bigger the beard, the more it indicates maturity and growth. No, honey. Sometimes all it is good beard oil and grooming. Okay, because underneath all that beard, sometimes we just have a baby boy. Okay, so it's really important for us not to get taken in by certain signaling. In the same way as some of us women are very masculine internally, but we will signal feminine, we'll wear our hair long, we will do all these kind of pretty things, but internally, we're not necessarily wired that way. We just like to look that way. And this is true for men as well. They can signal masculine energy on the outside. So a beard is one of the things that a lot of, men who may be flowing more in their feminine energy will be more concerned about. Don't judge a man's masculinity by whether he has a beard or not, okay? He may have muscles, but does that make him strong? I remember one time I was in a room with a gentleman, and he was like, I'm really dizzy. I'm so dizzy. Now, this guy was ripped, okay? And he was like 6 foot whatever, and I'm looking at my 5'2" tiny self and thinking, oh my God, he is gonna fight and I'm not gonna be able to hold him. But anyway, it was hold him or let him crush his head. So I kind of reached out, but I was so surprised at how light he was. His body was light in my hands. It was like carrying a baby. And then I realized that you can have a ripped, fit body, but it doesn't necessarily mean that it's a strong body. It doesn't mean that it's a solid body. But above all, it doesn't mean that the man inside that body is strong. Some of these men have these external strength, but internally they're not strong. They can't hack life. They're not coping, right? I'm not saying this is true for all men. I'm talking about internally being wired as a strong person who's overcoming, who has fortitude. Some of these men, not a lot of them, who are all ripped from head to toe, often don't have internal strength. And what I'm saying is, don't disqualify a guy because he's healthy. I'm saying look past it so that you can see, is this man strong? Does he have fortitude? Can he overcome? Does he crumble at the first sight of, is he the guy that will take charge in a situation? Is he the guy that will take the lead? Is he the guy that will get it done? Is he strong enough to bear through life? And some of these men just ain't strong. And I want you to be wise and to really look deeply and realize that sometimes a strong man can be a small guy. He can have the fortitude for life. He can have the get-go for life. He can be 5'7", but focused and strong and capable. And I'll take that guy any day, right? Compared to being with a man that looks strong, but really, you are his strength. He borrows your strength. A feminine woman needs a man that lends her his strength, not takes her strength, not utilizes her strength, not takes advantage of her strength, but he lends her his strength.
Simple steps to join Black Swan community. Download the Black Swan app from either Google Play Store or Apple Store. Launch the app and tap on register. Put in your valid information, then tap on continue. Put in the verification code sent to your email to authenticate your account. Then log into your account. Be sure to accept all permissions displayed at installation stage to enjoy all the cool features in the app. You can now enjoy community of high-value women with support from coaches and trainers. Book calls with coaches, chat, post, and interact with the community. Enjoy.
Is he focused or pig-headed? Sometimes, girls, we get this confused. Oh, he's such a focused guy. He's like, you can't tell him anything. Like, he can't tell him anything. And that is not masculine. That is just a pig-headed, stubborn man who is emotionally immature. A focused man is still able to take direction. A focused man is still able to be questioned and think about it. Perhaps maneuver a little bit differently. Sometimes we look at these pig-headed, can't be compromised with, can't be spoken to men and think that the masculine, that is not masculinity, that is emotional immaturity. So we need to be clear about the things that we are calling masculine. Otherwise, we are going to be duped. Okay? Last but not least, is he aggressive or is he angry? Now, you might say we don't like any of those. Yes, you do. A masculine man must have aggression in him. Even if it is not manifested, he must have the capacity for aggression, because the truth of the matter is men are the protectors of the planet, women and children. Whether they want to be or not, that's really up to them. Whether society wants them to be not, that's up to society. But as far as God is concerned, they are the protectors. And a protector must have sufficient amount of aggression should threat, danger be presented. You do not want to be with a man who has no aggression. He is not masculine energy if he has no aggression. Deep within, there must be a rumble of aggression that if anything pops off, if anything goes wrong anytime soon, he's responsive naturally. So I was in Belgium with my son, and we were walking at night and just in a busy kind of town, and there was everything going on. I was feeling cold, so I was taking my coat off, and I was wearing a really big, thick puffer coat. And the way I took it off was like, ugh. And he thought somebody had attacked me because of the way that I was taking my coat off. He was already in fight mode. He was like, Ma, I was about to kill somebody, right? Because even though he is young, even though he's 17, he has an aggression. We were calm, we're laughing, but he was able to switch modes straight away because he's the protector. He's protecting his mother. He's taller than me, he's bigger than me, and he's protecting me. And it's not a responsibility I put on him. It's a responsibility as a man that he naturally is born with. And so he goes into aggression to protect. You don't want a man who can't do that. You don't want a man that's going to be running in the corner and using you as a human shield. Okay? We don't want that. All right. So yes, we want a man who has potential for aggression. But sometimes what men are showing us as aggression is just anger. They're just rageful. They're angry. And everywhere they go, they're yelling, screaming, they're driving, screaming, shouting. They can't hold peace or calm. If you've been in a car with a man that is angry, all he does is beep, beep, beep. He shows his rage on the road because there's nowhere else in the world where he can feel comfortable to be a man, because he's not in touch with his masculine aggression. He's just out of control. He is angry. And ladies, we have to know the difference between a man who manages his healthy aggression with an angry man, because an angry man will start fights at any point. Angry man will just create a sense of danger around you. And for me, if I'm in a car with a man and he cannot control himself and his temper and he has to lose it, I instantly feel unsafe. That means that I am not around a masculine protector. And that should be the same for you. Don't look at it and think, it certainly doesn't take any nonsense off the road. Okay, this is not a masculine protector. It's a very dangerous man who courts danger. The truth is, a masculine energy man will avoid any kind of conflict, especially when he is with his woman. Especially. Just because he can fight and break bones doesn't mean that he's gonna want that around his woman or his children. He is going to go for peace first. He's gonna try and pacify things and bring peace. You But some of us will look at that man and say, oh, he's a wimp because he didn't want to fight. And might look at that guy and say, well, why didn't you defend me by punching him in the face? Because that is not how masculine, mature men behave. They don't go punching people in the face just because this has happened or that has happened. Unless that man disrespects you overtly, comes over, does something, says something, then he may choose to resolve it in that way. He probably will. But in reality, just because a man is not jumping into danger and throwing fists around does not mean that he is not a masculine man. It means that he is a wise man. And one thing you need to know about dangerous men, because I've been fortunate enough to know them, I've been fortunate enough to date them, they exhibit the utmost control around violent situations because they understand how things can escalate and how innocent people can get hurt. These are men with true power, true authority, and who are emotionally mature. And so it's really important, ladies, that we don't get hoodwinked, right? And we start calling these men high value. He's so masculine. He's such a man. Is he really? Is he really? Or are you selling yourself a dream because you want to walk into a room with a guy that looks like that? This is not how it works. We need to knuckle down, burrow down into reality and truth. Otherwise, we're going to find ourselves with men who present as masculine but are not truly masculine within. And that is fine. If you are a masculine energy woman and you want yourself a lovely feminine guy, you go right ahead and accept this. But for the rest of us who would like to be with the masculine energy man, I shall leave that with you, and I'll see you on my next video. In the meantime, do take care of you. I love you lots. Bye-bye. We're coming to the end of this video. What I want to ask you is, what have you learned? What is your takeaway? And what are you going to start practicing right away? Those 3 things are how you are going to get the best out of every class here at the Black Swan Relationships Academy. Please put it in the comments so that we can all have a look. So I can have a look, the coaches can have a look. And I promise you, we read every comment. We may not be able to reply to every comment, but we read all the comments and we want to see how you are growing. And we will see you on the next video.